Hello everybody and welcome to another toy review. Today, thanks to the mighty Sir Toys, I am looking at D01 Dinosaur King. This is by ZhanJiang. I don't know how you'd say that. This is the first product I've got from them. Now, as you know, the third-party KO market at the moment, thanks to the likes of ZhanJiang and Bao and even the guys at BB7, it's absolutely booming. So these guys have jumped on, and this is an oversized, pre-made version of that Warbotron Grimlock kit that was floating around a few months ago. It's arrived, I got it in a bundle of stuff from Sir Toys, and off the bat, it is very light. Let's take a quick look at the box. We just get a picture of Grimlock in his robot and dino mode on the back there, a little bit of text, no idea what that says, but that is all we get on the box. So without further ado, let's crack him open. He comes packaged in this very flimsy plastic blister with his crown, his gun, his sword, and his chest piece. The chest piece comes already off his chest. Here he is out of his plastic prison. And as you can see, just looking at this center chest piece, we just bring him in. We have this nice section here ready for us to install the chest plate. I'm not going to stick a logo in there, I will just pop the chest plate in. You can pry it back out again just by getting under there, but just push that in, like so. That's now in. He's okay. I'm trying to think how I can best describe the plastic used. It is very thin indeed. It's the kind of plastic that some of the third parties will use for some of their flaps on some of the figures. It's incredibly light. It feels very much kind of Poundland weight to this, which is kind of like your dollar store weight. It's extremely light. Take a look at the gun that comes with him. That's a nice translucent plastic. Not the best finish on it, a little bit rough around the edges, and again very light indeed. But I assume it's because they've gone from a small kit, which is kind of a Gundam plastic. This is what it is, Gundam plastic. This is what it reminds me of. It's very Gundam-esque in both weight and feel. Come round to the sword, again it's that same kind of plastic, although the actual blade itself is a nice thicker plastic. Whether they've just painted that on there, it's definitely given it a little bit more consistency. We do have the odd sprue mark on here as well, though, where it was not overly brilliant. And of course, Grimlock. He is king, therefore he doth have a crown. That's the crown on. That looks absolutely ridiculous. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. We've got a fairly nice head sculpt there. We don't have any light piping. They could have given us some nice light piping by replacing that section there. It's okay. If you like Grimlock, then maybe you would collect it just for the sake of having lots of Grimlocks. I'm just not really a fan. I think it was nice. The kit was nice because it scaled quite well with the smaller figures. This is very much a Voyager size. And what do we scale it with? I mean, Grimlock's meant to stand above most of the other Autobots, and he's just shy of a Voyager, so who's he going to tower over? Not really sure where this is going to fit in my collection. But the overall aesthetic is nice. It's a nice paint scheme. We do have this very nice deep red on the waist, which is actually a different colour red to this red. It's very subtle, but it is different. We have the nice coloration on the legs there. It's done very much to resemble kind of like the Reximus Prime paint scheme. Now, the articulation, the head can go up and down very nicely. The left and right do turn, but it is quite tight. It's very shiny chrome on that chest section there. The arms are on balls, so we can get a little bit of tilt on there. We can bring it inwards and outwards. It does go up and over. The bicep can rock backwards and forward. There is no swivel at the bicep, but we do have a rotation at the lower elbow. The hands can flip inwards and outwards, and they can also rotate quite nicely. The waist can rotate, which is always good. No hindrance there whatsoever. The legs can come this far forwards. They can come this far out. We've got a nice upper thigh swivel. We have a nice deep bend at the knee coming down to the feet. We do have a lot of range. We do have forwards and backwards, and we do have a very nice pivot. So articulation wise, it's nice. We can get him in some nice battle ready stances. And considering how thin and kit-like the plastic feels, he's an extremely well balanced figure. The joints on these ankles are so secure, you can pretty much pull off any action pose. Taking a quick look at how he scales, see, I don't think he's really tall enough to pull off that classics size. I just don't think it really works. Now, something that may be a saving grace for him is the fact that Machine Boy have been releasing oversized legends. Now, yes, they are quite simplistic because they literally are just oversized legends, but does that scale work a little bit better? I mean, maybe he's a little bit too small now, I don't know. But if you're looking for a budget display, I mean, this guy's pretty cheap, and these are tuppence halfpenny. They are literally next to nothing. Right, to get Grimlock transformed up into his Dino mode, it's a scary, scary process. As I said, this is a very thin, shiny, chromed up plastic. You want to pull this section out of his shoulder, and then you want to twist it down and around, and there's a tab on the side here. This is going to tab in, so we're going to push that down, and we are going to push that in, and this really does feel like it's going to break. Oh, there we go. That's in. Scary, scary. Right, come round to this back section. That is going to come down, and that's going to rock up. We can now bring around these chest pieces. They are just going to locate either side of the gold, and then we're going to push and tab those together up and around his head, and then bring the dino head up, and there's a tab here that's going to locate inside the gold again. Scary times. Oh, that does not sound healthy. There we go. He's kind of getting there-ish. We can just unfold these sections here, and you kind of see where this is going. This is going to be very much like what we got with the Masterpiece figures. These are going to come up and over. This is going to tab into that section there on his back, like so. This section is going to fold back down, and then we're going to bring the tail up and extend that, and we're going to do that with both sides. And when both of these back sections are tabbed in, we can then just tab these legs together and go all the way down to the tail. Again, just work these in there. And there we go. There he is, finished. And no, things do not tab together correctly. There's too much of the chrome paint on the tail, so they do not tab together correctly. I don't like the big, spacious gap there on the back. I know I'm slating this a little bit, but it's a little bit pants, that's all. Isn't it bad now that we've got standards when it comes to knockoff figures? That's crazy, isn't it? Now we can bring in his gun. Well, that tabs in like so. I don't like that. Now you can pop the sword in at the base here, like that, and you can slide it up, and there's a little tab at the top here that will slide that in. So that's one way of keeping the sword out of the way. Maybe you can just put the crown on like that. There we go. No, that's not going to work. It's not really a lot to say. It's okay. That's literally it. The chrome really does feel like it's going to break. The head can move left and right. The jaw can open quite wide. It can go up, and it's got that little gun on the inside there. You know, it feels like a kit would, but obviously you're not buying this as a kit. You're buying it as a pre-assembled figure. The arms do move, but Oh man, they are scary, scary. I think that's going to break. The legs can come in, out, shake it all about. They can do the okey cokey and they can turn around. That's kind of what it's all about. Feet can go up and down. We don't really have any pivots now that he's in Dino mode, but anyway, tail does not move at all, but it's definitely Grimlock, isn't it? Without a shadow of a doubt, you could put this on your shelf. Please don't break. You can put this on your shelf and you can say, him Grimlock. Here he is again with Machine Boy Optimus Prime. See, I think that works nicely. Or if we bring in Classics Prime, it kind of looks like a large dog. So there we have it, guys. This is the Dinosaur King D01. Have I been a bit harsh on him? Probably so. I just don't like it. It's just, there's so many good KOs out there now, and this one just doesn't really match up to some of them. If you need a Grimlock, it's a good option. If you want a Grimlock to go with your oversized Machine Boys, yes, I personally think that works a treat. He's a very good size, and you could have a nice cheap display. It does have that kind of classics vibe to it when it's in Dino mode, just because of this big chunky section on the back here. But like I've mentioned numerous times, it's a very light, very Gundam-esque plastic. The joints are a little bit scary at times. I mean, mine hasn't broken yet, and I'm pretty heavy-handed when it comes to things like this. Vangelis test. He survives. He's not going to break when he does a shelf dive. But those joints are scary, scary times. Everything holds together very well in Dino mode, apart from that tail not pegging in properly. So you can get some fairly dynamic running poses. So what do you guys think? It's a cheap product. Do you think it's fairly good value for money? Personally, I do. I just don't like it. I don't like it at all. It doesn't really fit with my collection, so I'll probably be getting rid of mine. But if you're a Grimlock fan, if you're a Classics fan, if you want a Grimlock to go with your Legend size figures, then maybe this could be a very cheap alternative for you. If you do like the figure, please pay Sir Toys a visit by clicking the link in the description below. If you've found the video useful, give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't found the video useful and I've kind of got on your nerves, then give it a big thumbs down. Whatever takes your fancy, whatever floats your boat, just thank you very much for watching. Until next time, from myself and the Dinosaur King, goodbye.